Hello, everyone. Welcome to Christopher's Entertainment Blog. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to another video for Arrow Season 3, Episode 6, entitled Guilty. Another solid episode for Arrow, as always. And uh, I liked it. It was a solid episode. We got to see more of a backstory for this character that's training Laurel. That's Ted Grant. And we see that these bodies showing up all over the city. They lead to Ted, and we find out that Oliver's convinced that he may be he might be the culprit that's leaving these bodies around, these like gang members or whatever. And Laurel is not convinced. She says she knows him. She's been training with him. We find out after Oliver does some digging around and following him that he follows him to this like locker, like storage area thing, where he has all this stuff in there, kind of like what Oliver's got inside the foundry. We find out that Ted used to be a vigilante before Oliver, and we know he's Wildcat, and or he will become Wildcat. But but it turns out he's not the culprit. Somebody else is doing it. Well, it leads to we find out that it's his like former like protege, and that guy's name was, what was it? Let's see here, if I can remember. Now I can't find it. Great. But anyway. Is it Isaac Stansler? That's who it was. Isaac Stansler, and that's his former protege. And he's going around and basically killing these guys and trying to blame it on Ted. And there's this whole backstory with him and this whole deal with him training him and whatnot. Pretty cool backstory, and into this character Wildcat. And we see how Laurel is like she's persistent to take over for Sarah and avenge Sarah, and we still see that, and she's got this fire now all of a sudden just burning to take over the what Sarah was doing. But we also see that Roy is dealing with these dreams, and what we had last week at the very end, where he has this vision that he killed Sarah. And he basically he says to Felicity, "Hey, test my blood for Mirakuru." Turns out negative. But in the end, she's like, "Well, you may have had like a burnout of that. Maybe it was you." And he confesses. He confesses to Oliver and everybody, like right there. So I was like, "Well, then he's not the one who killed her then, because he confessed." But he confessed, and he was ready to take the blame and just walk, or basically turn. He was going to turn himself in. He said, "I'm going to turn myself in. I'm giving it up. I'm turning myself in." But we see in the backstory the flashbacks with Oliver in the Hong Kong scenes. How he tried to remember where that dead drop was, and I forget the Japanese character. But she basically does this like meditation where he remembered where it was, and so Oliver did the same with Roy, and we find out that Roy did not kill Sarah, but he did find out that he did kill a cop, which may be just as bad when he was under the Mirakuru effect. So he's dealing with that, but we did find out that he did not kill Sarah. So I think that pretty much X's him off the list so far, that he did not do it, even though you're seeing visions of him. But somehow he's getting a connection from somebody. Who that may be, maybe it's, who knows? I mean, it could be Ra's al Ghul maybe doing something. I don't know what's up with that. It should be very interesting to find out why he's having visions of himself doing the deed, killing Sarah, when it was somebody else. So, I don't know. I don't know. It should be interesting. And it might be a character we have never even seen yet. Interesting. We're gonna, I can't wait. I can't wait to find out. I'm wanting to know. But I like the scenes with Roy and Felicity. Like, he trusted her enough to go to her. He didn't go to Oliver first or anybody else first. He went to Felicity and was like, you know, I may have done this. So it was nice to see that you know that partnership there. So that was cool. But yeah, another solid episode, guys. I like what they're doing. Hopefully, they'll do more with the Wildcat character. That should be neat. If what he can develop into, and we'll see what Laurel will develop into, because they're moving forward with her as taking over the mantle from Sarah, and but we'll see. We'll see. I think it might take a little time. She ain't just going to suit up like immediately, but I think it might be a slow burn a little bit with that. But we shall see. We shall see. I'm a little bit mixed on that with her doing that, but we shall see if it turns out all right. I'm gonna play it out and we'll see. Um, the flashback Hong Kong scenes are also a slow burn. They're picking up a little bit, but it's still slow. Like, where is this going? I know it's got to do with Amanda Waller. It's Argus, China White, or Chenna White, or whatever you want to call her. And that whole backstory there, but it will lead up to something in the end. It will lead to a, final point they're trying to make, but they got to basically fill this out. They got to fill this out across the whole season, and that's, the way it is. But overall, I like this episode. I really did, and it was a very character-driven episode, and it was cool to see some of the backstories with some of these characters. Yeah, and then we see that the preview for the next episode, we're going to get the character Cupid. So that should be interesting as well, to see how Cupid now plays into that. Another archer. And, we'll see if she's up to the task. Maybe she's going to be, take out Oliver. She's going to, she's going to be a better archer than him. We shall see. She looks like a cool character. And I can't wait to see what more they do with that character next week. Hopefully Roy is, that Mirakuru is gone. I mean, we shall see. I think it is. I think it's done. I think they're done with the Mirakuru for now. And I don't think Roy has anything to do with it now, because I think they put that infinite. They put it to bed. They were like, Roy, you didn't do it, okay? And so I have no clue who it could be. Who killed Sarah? I don't know. You guys gotta let me know in the comments below, guys, because I have no clue. I mean, I have my speculations, but I don't want to speculate. But yeah, solid episode, guys. That's about it for me. I'll be back next week for another episode of Arrow. Write in the comments below, guys, what you thought of this episode. Also, like and subscribe. Appreciate the support, as always. But I am Chris for Christopher's Entertainment Blog. Thanks a lot, guys. Later.